All right. Why am I taking? Why did I grab the heavy end? It's your blazer.
I'm just trying to formulate up a piece to cover this up that might look like it was supposed to be there. I'm doing it with cardboard for a reason, so I can throw it away if I don't like it. Project today, at least for me, because everybody else has decided to go off to the car show.
Load it up! We're headed out!
I get to cut out this piece of floor. So what we're gonna do is actually cut this whole piece out so we can raise it by about 3/4 of an inch, so it'll actually clear the transfer case and we can get past some of those problems. So I've started to cut this side, kind of just taped a line as to the top of the curve there, so I can be able to keep as much of this here so I can actually know how much I'm adding to the height. So I'll cut it out here and probably just cut the back off here so that I can make this front piece, kind of get it made the way that it needs to be, and then make another piece that's just this part of it, and then I'll make the big piece here. I've got to remake this brace, and then we're going to put some bracing in this because, as you can tell, it's oh so strong. But yeah, that's kind of what I get to do, and tried my best to kind of protect what's here so we don't have to backtrack on more than what we have to while everybody else is at the Mount Carmel show. Days worth of work later, I got this piece in there. So I bent this all up and then stretched it and made it so this all fits. Yeah, I had some issues with getting that curve, so I ended up just having to drill it out. So I'm kind of cut it so it would actually go right. And then I made this a little bit longer up here because on the tunnel, I'm gonna have to raise this edge up here to match that, and as I do so, it's going to move it forward just because of the nature of the tunnel. So I'm going to have to move it up about 3/4 or so, just like I moved the other piece, so it'll actually match and mount the way that it needs to. But yeah, so now I got to get started on the piece that's going to come up and over here. I'll get that guy tacked in, and once that's kind of ready to go, then I will pull the transfer case out and make the brace to go in here. And I was looking through our metal pile, and I was kind of thinking that this piece of 1-inch tube is going to be my friend for that. So it's plenty heavy and should fit good. Okay, well here's just kind of what I got done for the weekend. So that piece is tacked in. I think it's just about what it needs to be. I'm just making this piece. So kind of what I did is I just drilled holes on it, so I could actually be able to get these bends, and it's turning out pretty good. It's pretty close. I realized I'm gonna have to bend this forward. It's kind of what that line's about, so it'll actually mate up with that. I think it'll look reasonably factory with that too. Just kind of bend forward. Anyway, so got that, and then I'll have to do that same thing on the other side. And then something that I did is, so I wanted to keep this nice bevel kind of throughout the piece. And I couldn't do that if I just welded the two pieces together. If there's a part of this that you'll actually see, it'll be that part. And then once I get this in, I'll get the brace made. I've got some plans for that, but I gotta get this on first. So while my mom and dad are gone, just there at the races, I get the privilege of working on this. Last week I got this piece all kind of made and it's just tucked in there. What actually took a little while was getting the bends in the right places, because obviously it's not quite in the same spot as it was because it's up a little bit higher and you still got to try and keep that angle. And then I've been working on this guy and I got it pretty well in the ballpark. Tack that guy in so then I can pull the transfer case out and get started working on the brace. So that should be fun. Hopefully it's something good. We got this piece here welded in. Yeah, just a little bit of persuasion. Had to take this tool. I used it to just kind of rat it along this after I had welded it on because some of the sides didn't line up. But right now I decided that I wanted to work on the brace. Needed to break from sheet metal. So this is turning out and it's not fighting me anywhere near as much as this piece did. Happy. This should all turn out good. And then that'll really help to strengthen up the floor here. That's kind of how things are going. What we're dealing with. And it's coming along. We'll have something when it's all done. So this is what I was hoping to do with it. Is just cut out a pie piece like this. Just take and throw it in the vise. And just go. Bent. I did this first so I can make sure that I actually got this angle right. I'll curl it under here. I can show you how it fits. I haven't even tried it yet though, so it might not fit. Okay, issue one is that we put that in backwards. The bend is in the right spot. Happy with that.
Many hours later.
So a bit of an update. Been a minute since you've heard anything from me.
I love the young people.
I got this piece all made. I still gotta put some holes through the floor before I put this guy in, so then I can just like put some spot welds through the floor into it. I've still gotta cut out this part of the floor back to this guy and move it up. But that will be next week, because that will not be a short project. Okay, I got it welded in, so then I did drill the holes in the top, and I could double check it was actually all the way up, and it is. Should be more than sturdy enough for what this needs. It fits up against the floor a lot better than the factory one did. It's about that much shorter. I got the brace and everything in now, just as I was showing you, and I was kind of messing around. I wanted to make sure that this was actually going to hold my weight, which it does really pretty well. So it's good and strong. Kind of the way that it was back when I got it originally before we got that piece out. So that's really good. Then also just for kicks and giggles, I stepped on this. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but this thing is weak. Holy cow. Yeah, there's not much to that piece. More for next time.
Okay, we got KLOB back in the shop. Kaden's been working on it the last couple of weeks while I've been out playing. So he's got this piece all built to clear the transfer case. When we had to reclock it, everything just hit the floor. And we decided we'd cut this all out, raise it up. That will take care of the problem. We're going to have a console in there, and it's not going to hurt anything at all to have that console sit 1 inch higher. So that's what's going to happen with that. He's got the structure put back in it here to hold the floor together. Finish welding this up so he can finish cutting this floor out. Good thing he's good with sheet metal, so he's doing a pretty dang good job.
Nope, we can't have those.
Hey, look, it might be quiet day now.
I don't know who you're kidding, but I still gotta grind
out.
all that stuff.
Oh,
He's just getting yeah, I'm just getting started. So.
are you gonna mount it on your wall or what?
No, this is gonna go in the garbage.
Metal recycling.
It didn't work, so now we gotta make something better. So.
Kaden's been busy working on this tunnel. He has it pretty close to being ready to tack in. Just a little bit more fitting. But he made a trip up to northern Utah, found a top up there, finally found a good single wall top. Been looking for 3 or 4 years for a good one. He went to pick that up. Hopefully it's good when he gets up there. He'll hopefully be calling me soon and give me an update.
It's 11:15. I'm requesting your quarter hourly location update.
And hopefully he'll take a little bit of video of his experience up there.
Okay, so we gotta have a little bit of fun today. Take Kian's old orange and white truck out, and we went and got a top for my Blazer. It's just, it looks perfect. So of course you got some of the breaks at the seams that just happen in these tops. But if you look at it, there's hardly anything that's structurally bad. There's a little bit of a crack right here, just around the window, but that seems to be pretty standard on these actually. But yeah, it's just a really nice top. He actually redid everything in the hatch for us, so the hatch there is more or less ready to just install.
And we got all the glass for it too.
Yep, so we figured that the best way to move it was to just take this truck and just clamp it to the bedside. So we couldn't think of a safer way to have it go down the road.
Sounds like Kaden just got back. Let's go see what he got. Look at how thick that stuff is. Yeah. Got like 18 coats of paint on there, but everything underneath looks good. That's a factory seam that splits out, so they all crack right there and right here. And then all the factory seams inside are cracked as well, but perfectly normal. We'll just have to dig them out and redo those seams, make it look good. But overall, the top's pretty good shape. Just has the usual little baby bird bath swimming pool right here. But yeah, looks good. Wow.
Each and every morning, Kaden's been out here scraping away at the top of that Blazer. You can hear him from blocks away. Each and every day, the work you get done.
Yeah, it's been my project in the morning and sometimes at night, just trying to get an hour or so in every day. So it's coming along. It's mostly done now. I just got this section up here in the top and then I'm done.
Got a lot done.
Yep.
Kaden's been working on this some more. This has been quite an involved project.
Yeah.
We've about got it lit. Just need to build a little patch for that. But everything else looks really good. This will grind out really good, and little seam sealer. Really won't have to do hardly any metal work when he's done. So yeah, you can see about how much we raised it. So we'll end up cutting this and shortening it, and then that'll let this whole thing sit down, and we'll re-weld this piece back in once we shorten it. That'll all look pretty factory. The console fits really good. It'll help with a problem that these early Blazers have, is the console sits so low, it makes a terrible armrest. So raising that up a little bit, make it more comfortable to drive, and I think it'll make it look better as well. On top of giving us room for the transfer case, so win-win.
What you doing?
I got this piece done. I got all this stuff in here. Overall, this actually turned out really well. I had a little bit of help from Kendall to make these two ends lined up. He showed me a few tricks with a cutoff wheel, as well as just a dolly and some things that way to get the pieces to where I wanted it to be.
It looks like on this side you got most of the welder.
Yeah, it's pretty well done over there. I still got to fill that gap in and grind some things on this side. And then there's a piece I got to make to go in here, because the transfer case doesn't clear that part of the hole.
Kaden's making pretty good progress on this. Got all this put together, got this little spot built for a little extra clearance for the transfer case shifter. Now we just need to work on this. We just cut this section out so we can leave it intact. All we had to do was cut a piece out, slide it forward. Now it's just a little bit wide because as we raised this, it narrowed up the top. The easiest way to take care of that issue is to cut it in the center, take a little bit out of the center, squeeze the sides in, and everything should line up.
But yeah, there's actually a lot that has to come out. But
Hey, that one's pretty straight, dude.
piece one. Woo! Hey, look at that.
You raised this an inch,
Yeah, I raised all of this 3/4 of an inch.
and nobody's even gonna be able to tell when you're done.
Yep. That's kind of the point of all the work.
So that it's unnoticeable that you did the work.
Yeah, so it just looks like nobody was ever here. I got that piece in. It fits really pretty good. So I'll have to show it in a minute. But yeah, it sits flush everywhere, and this is tacked in. And I got this side tacked in now, so I can cut this to fit.
Yeah.
Kind of like this side, and then I'll just make the filler pieces here,
Cool.
and we'll be set.
Yeah, looks good.
Pretty well got that piece in there. It fits. And it's gonna ship. It sits in really nicely now. I haven't put the boot on it, and it's just perfect. So I'll get it all finished up another day. But yeah.
1 week later.
Well, update.
All
Getting
right.
the transmission. Yeah.
That's a transfer case. That's a transmission.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna actually put the transfer case in and see if it clears. So I don't know if you remember from before, one of the bolts on the transfer case was really close to the floor right here, which is why I built this piece. Because while I was here, I figured I would do that. But if that bolt is far enough forward, it's gonna hit this brace that I made. So we're gonna have to clearance that if it is the case. But we're just gonna fit it in there and see what we got. So,
All right. Why am I taking? Why did I grab the heavy end? It's your blazer.
just so I can actually heat this thing in here.
Oh, we don't. It's not like a Suburban. We got a cross member right there. About to heat these things in myself.
Okay.
Oh, that wasn't a
Dude. Okay, you want to spin that output? There it goes.
Hey.
Yeah, so
The light was blocking.
that might get his way in the way. Okay,
So-
actually, so yeah, you can see right there just where that bolt is that I made the...
I can stick my finger in there in the gap, so we're
well good.
We're good. Okay, well help me heave this behemoth out of here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I got it.
Okay.
use the trash can and you just set it right there. And then you can reposition if you need to go all the way to the floor, and you're in a lot better thing. Yeah, makes a huge difference. So while Kaden's over there building a brace, I've been up this piece. This is just got that small little bubble in it. And all it's gonna do is just fill that in right there. But as you can see, this body line and that one don't line up. So I gotta cut this. I'm gonna cut it right there. Move it back, line the body lines up. Cut it, weld it up. Cut this piece as my filler. Make it complete. All right, so as Corbin says, update. Right, Kaden?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of how it feels though.
Well, let's show what has been happening over here.
I got the actual brace put in this guy, and pretty well everything kind of ground up and cleaned up. But
Yeah, you can see right where he just put his foot is where he put a brace.
yeah,
We'll have to lift it up and show you in a minute, but it's just a piece of 1-inch square that mounts like here and goes across. Nothing too crazy, but it made a huge difference.
so yeah.
What I've been doing back here on the removable trans tunnel piece, the high hump we call it. Got this side kind of going together. This side's working pretty good, just a little bit of body work. It's coming together. It's slow. Anyone that's ever done anything on sheet metal knows it's just a slow, tedious process if you want it to look nice. And this rest of this blazer's nice, so I guess I better care a little bit.
Yes, you should.
Yep.
So I got this tunnel finished up. Looks really pretty good. Sits on there nicely. Yeah, so I'll get the tunnel actually bolted down, so then I can mark these holes where it's gonna bolt in here on the back. And then I kind of marked where the console, the front console holes are gonna go, and get some nut certs in there. Once those things are in, I marked a few spots that I still need to like patch up a couple holes. I had Kenner go under with a flashlight so I could find them all. Then I can figure out what I need to do to prep the underneath of this for the Circuliner stuff. That's what is already actually under here. That black stuff. That actually turned out really, really good. As soon as things are prepped for that, then that'll get sprayed on there in a few more hours and we should be in a dang good spot. Okay, yeah, so I got the nut certs in to hold down the console and the removable tunnel piece here. Kind of sanded the edge off the paint to make it so it's just a smooth transition. Don't have that lip there. Kind of sanded around this tunnel spot that we'll paint. Gonna take and put some etching primer on it so we don't have to worry about this rusting, and we'll paint it a little later. My parents are at SEMA right now.
We're all loaded up, ready to head south. We're gonna drop the Coronet off at Paul and Michelle's, and then in the morning we'll load up and head to SEMA. Well, we're almost. Well, they're not very little, that's for sure. Well, we're half.
That's a horrible parking lot, by the way.
That would be Paul.
This is what you get when you live in Glendale. So. We're halfway there, so stop for lunch and a couple hours out of Vegas, so here we go.
We be here.
We're here, but we're not there.
We're not sure where here is.
We're just gonna walk till we get there.
Okay.
You guys are late.
Oh, we're so late.
Right?
Huh?
You're with Paul, right? Is that why you're late?
Yeah.
Well, you know.
It's insane, and you end up with all over.
It's like a burnout in the 42 again. All right.
End of the show.
Ended it. I think this will be the end of the road for SEMA for us. It's a good time. Got to talk to some great people at Ameribraid. Got to weld at the Miller stuff. And of course we gotta have Michelle crash us. Yeah.
I just threw him completely on.
I know.
We came, we saw a lot of cool stuff. I welded. And now it's time to go get some dinner.
Call it a good time.
Yep.
It's been great.
It has been fun.
It's been a lot. There's a lot here.
Yep.
Holy crud.
So-
It's a lot.
So if you want to have mental and sensory overload, make sure you come to SEMA next year.
So it's got some paint on it. It'll become orange later. And underneath, I've kind of done the same thing. So it's nice and black. Nothing too special right now. There's that brace I made that I put in there. Floor is just a million times stronger than it was. Better yet, it actually clears the transfer case.
Just got done with our SEMA trip. Pretty fun time. Lots of crazy things, lots of new stuff. Done a lot of trips this last month or so. Glad we have the boys back keeping projects rolling in the shop. So Stacy and I can do a lot of this stuff. But that takes care of it for today. Remember, blowing out somebody else's candle won't make yours burn any brighter. Thanks for watching.